everyone, today is Friday the 29th of March 2019. This is The Gap, episode 461. I'm Luke Lawrie. Joab Gilroy's here. How's your day going, Joab?
Yeah, it's cool.
It's alright. We had a big night last night, so...
And I had a big night the night before that. Had a big fucking weekend. I need a break from alcohol, I think. You know, it's just, we need to see other people for a little while.
Yeah.
Because fucking hell, I'm dying over here. I know I'm not gonna stop, because...
But it's the weekend.
I know, that's the problem. It's the weekend. If it was like Wednesday, maybe I could just take Thursday, Friday off, but it's Friday, so fucking boom.
I'd start drinking again in a couple hours.
I don't have a choice. I am a party animal. I'm like Slums Mackenzie. I'm so tired. Yeah, anyway. Yeah, good stuff. Good week. What about you?
Yeah, same. It's been busy.
Mm.
Capped it off last night with quite a bit of drinking, which is fun. We got a lot to talk about. We might get straight into it, but first, something different. We went to a premiere of Pet Sematary.
Yep.
An advanced screening. I think it's out next week on around the 4th of April.
Sure. Sounds about right.
Yeah. I figured we might just quickly talk about that.
Sure.
We went.
Yep.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Have you seen the original at all?
Yeah, I saw the original way back in the day. It scared the shit out of me. My dad used to be obsessed with Stephen King movies. He's also terrified of spiders, so Arachnophobia was the best movie to watch with him. But yeah, we watched this one. Yeah. I don't know.
I've watched it recently for some reason. I don't know
Oh,
why.
okay. Yeah, because I haven't watched it in fucking forever. I don't really remember it.
Yeah. I can't remember if it was just on TV or something like that, but
Right.
it was in the last, 5 years that I've watched it for
Right.
whatever reason. Might have been, it could have even been the first time. But, in saying that, I don't really remember what happened in it.
Yeah.
It wasn't a memorable film to me.
Yeah.
Maybe it just didn't age that
Yeah,
well.
that's
Which
possible.
could be why they felt the need to reboot it.
Mm.
Anyway, so yeah, it's been it's basically the premise. It's a horror film. It's a family that moves into this town, and they find that they own the town's pet cemetery where everyone kind of buries their pets. And anyway, weird shit starts to happen. Basically,
Yeah.
It's getting a lot of rave reviews, this film.
Yeah.
A shitload. I personally think it's fine. It's a fine film. I think the problem was that I went in expecting maybe a bit too much out of it because of all the reviews it was getting. And that's probably one of those negative things where, we usually go into films not watching, knowing anything about it, or, sorry, watching any film from it, and then...
We don't watch any trailers. We don't...
Right.
Yeah, it's... I tend to avoid fucking literally everything I can about a movie that I haven't watched yet, so I can go in completely blind.
Yeah.
But, yeah, and
it seems to happen quite a bit for me where, you go into a movie expecting a bit too much, maybe, and you're like,
Yeah.
oh, okay. And, so...
Well, I know for Star Wars, we've always had, a standing order of... You're not allowed, if you see it early, if you see it before everyone else, you're not allowed to say whether or not it's good or bad until after everyone's seen it. Because we all tend to see it, nearly at the same time. We'll all see it, basically, we'll do a midnight screening or something like that, but the last couple of years, Nate managed to sneak into a couple of advanced screenings, and I think you got into one, I got into one. And yeah, you just don't want to, impact how people think about the film by telling them, oh, it was awesome, oh, it was the best thing ever, and then they go in expecting the best thing ever, and they get episode 8, and
right.
they're bummed out. I think that sort of happened with this. I was expecting more than what it was. It was just sort of a fine horror movie. Like you said, it was fine. It was it was, it's definitely a horror film. There weren't a lot of pets in it. Surprisingly, lack of pets. Shortage
Except that
of
one
pets.
fucking cat.
that one cat. Yeah, like it had some good scares. I had someone sitting next to me who was extremely excitable, and they were freaking me the fuck out. Like it was everything was like ramped up to 11, because they would like occasionally hit me in the fucking arm, and it was like a whole other fucking jump scare for me. It was like they
it was
actually
one of those
took it.
4D movies you would get.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so that was different, but yeah, like I think it had some good bits. Um, like obviously, we won't say them because we just talked about how we don't want to spoil shit.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, like I think it had some good bits. It just yeah, at the end of the day, it was sort of just a bit by the numbers,
Right.
in my opinion.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it's tricky
Um.
to talk about because I think for horror films, you never want to know much, you know.
Yeah. I mean, there were definitely moments, like scary moments. You screamed at one point pretty fucking loud.
I did.
Yeah. And on multiple occasions, we're literally being like, "Oh God, oh no, what's gonna happen?
Yeah.
Something's
Uh,
behind the door."
I have not been handling gore very well recently. Gore in movies, you know, like splatter shit. I'm
Right.
just I don't know. It's freaking me the fuck out a lot more lately. So yeah.
Yeah.
Every time I anticipated some sort of hideous thing was going to happen, it'd get me a bit more. But yeah, I thought
Right.
it was like there was good acting.
The acting, yeah, was excellent.
Yeah,
Jason Clarke, an Australian actor.
yeah.
John Lithgow, and the little kid as
Hmm.
well was very good. Like, there's this kid I thought was pretty one note. Like, oh, yeah, okay, this kid, whatever. Like, I didn't really rate her much, and then something happens in the film and like completely changes. I'm like, holy
Uh,
fuck, this kid can act.
I was thinking about it, and they must have cast her purely off that because yeah, she was, or, you know, maybe she was directed to be pretty, I don't know, bland before then, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was a good one. John Lithgow being a fucking disheveled old man.
Mm.
All I could think about when like right at the start was Harry and the Hendersons though, when he's in the forest at the end. It's like, we don't want you.
Right.
Go away. Leave. Leave, Harry. Yeah, that's all I could think about. It was a bit of a skewering of the film, I think. But yeah, it was, I think it's worth watching. I don't know if I'd rush out to the cinemas. There's a lot out at the moment that I think, like, I don't know, Captain Marvel. I would go see that first. Apparently, Us is out, but we haven't seen it.
Yeah, going tonight.
Yeah, nice. I think I'm going tomorrow. And then fucking Shazam. It's
Mm.
just around the corner as well. There's a lot of really good movies, so I think it's a bit too crowded to really go for this one. But
I mean, yeah, there's two horror films.
yeah,
Yeah. Anyway, I just want to talk about briefly the pre-event. They held it at
oh yeah,
a cemetery,
Hmm.
behind the cinema, and they had these creepy kids walking around
Yeah,
with like face masks on, which is something that's in the film and
yeah.
all the marketing and whatnot. Um, yeah, and
I
they
thought it
were
was
really
pretty.
creepy.
I thought it
But the
was pretty
best part was when
pretty
we
good.
got there.
Yeah.
There was this dog that ran past us, and we're like, "Oh, they've got like fucking animals here." And this dog looked like it was like Skeletor's dog or
It was
something. It was
fucking so fucking emaciated. It was ridiculous.
yeah. And then this
Uh,
lady walks past with it, and they weren't part of the gig. She was
no.
just walking in the cemetery with her
Walking
dog.
a fucking skeleton dog through a fucking cemetery. Yeah, good lord, it's fucking perfect timing. Yeah, and then they got us to walk to the cinema from the cemetery in a procession,
Hmm.
and the people of Newtown were not fans. They were not fans of like must have been 80 or so people taking up the fucking sidewalks in a big group because some of the other attendees were not terribly aware of their surroundings, and so they were sort of walking four abreast down a two-person wide sidewalk and shit. Just taking up the whole fucking thing. Casual pace. So yeah, people weren't thrilled, but yeah, still, it was yeah, that was an interesting way to kick things off. An interesting way to like introduce the vibe, I guess.
Yeah.
So yeah, I felt a little bit weird about drinking in a cemetery, but I guess it's not that out of the ordinary. It's just usually for sadder reasons.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, good stuff.
I was just trying to think about it before. Jason Clarke. I don't think I've seen him in a like where he's been bad in a film.
Oh,
Like even in Terminator, I thought that like the reason that film wasn't like had problems wasn't because of him.
yeah,
Like I thought he was a good John
yeah,
Connor. Like I thought he was awesome in like Everest.
yeah.
Um, what was that other film? The one where they like raid Osama bin Laden's compound. Zero Dark 30.
That's it.
I thought he was great. Like, yeah,
Yeah,
I feel like everything I've seen him in, he's been awesome.
yeah. He's pretty good. Um, yeah, he's a good actor. But that's I don't know. There are a lot of good Aussie actors, like just generally good. I don't know what it is. It's weird.
Yeah,
Must be Home and Away. They must teach you all you need to know, or Neighbours, or whichever one.
one of those two.
Yeah, the crucibles of fine acting talent.
Yep.
Yeah, because I saw Melissa George in something the other day.
All right.
Yeah,
In a film,
I'm not sure. It was in something. I can't remember what it was.
like wasn't she in like Blue Heelers or something like that? Like one of those cop shows.
Well, I wasn't watching Blue Heelers. Yeah, it's gonna
Blue
crack
Heelers,
on the fucking Blue Heelers reruns. Fucking gotta get straight onto it after I finish my country practice
right.
sesh. Yeah.
Right.
Anyway, video games.
Video games. We got a lot here,
Shitloads.
which is yeah, it's good. Where do we want to start? Did you put Apex Legends down, or is that just on here permanently
I think
now?
it's just on permanently. It
Right.
doesn't have to be. Obviously, we play more Apex, but we've talked about it a heap. Let's
Yeah.
let's get rid of it.
It sounds like I don't know if we've talked about it since they put the pass in. I think they have. It's been running for about 2 weeks now.
Yeah,
I guess some good things that they're doing with that season pass is there are like bonus. You can get bonus experience for playing certain characters.
right.
So I think it was like you can get 25,000 bonus experience if you play this character, and then once you hit that, you've kind of got your limit, and then you can go to the next one and do
Right.
whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah, the good thing that they're doing is if you don't do that weekly progression, they're just increasing it to like, all right, this week now it's up to 50,000. So you don't necessarily have to like just blast through all of them.
right.
You've got it looks like they're giving you some time. They're just not resetting it, which is I like that about it.
Yeah,
There's stuff in there that you can get that is free. Like you don't necessarily have to buy the pass. Like it's giving you free like drops or banners or certain things. There's not like a whole lot of incentive in there. I think that like the progression for the main boxes and the main credits has really slowed down quite a lot. I don't think that's to do with like them releasing the season pass. I just think it's like once you start getting into higher tier levels, it just really slows down quite a lot, and it feels like it's quite rare whenever I get a loot box. We've talked about it before.
yeah.
I think it should be every ranking.
Every fucking level. Yeah,
Yeah. But otherwise, yeah, I mean, we've had some games with Octane.
yeah.
I think he's fine. Like, he's an interesting character.
It's like a slightly shittier Pathfinder.
Sure.
He is. Speed boosts at the cost of health. Yep, okay. Regenerating health while out of combat is fine, but Yeah, his ultimate is team mobility type thing, and yeah, he is basically pointless. Well, his abilities are like extremely situational, um, and almost worthless once you get to the final circles, like the final couple of teams, which is literally the same as fucking Pathfinder. Like
Yep.
mobility focused, team based ultimates, useless once you get to the final circle. Well, not useless, but like, yeah, doesn't add anything to the mix, unlike any of the others. Oh, I guess Wraith maybe, unless she's got escapability.
Yeah.
But yeah,
We've seen some good videos recently. There was one where like some dude, and it's something we were talking about while we were playing.
yeah,
Like, oh, it'd be cool if you could like trick people into using it and just like fly them off the edge of the map.
yeah.
I saw one video where a wraith
Or Wraith
puts
portal
down
into
her
yeah,
teleport, like her portal, and then on the other end is the jump pad, and people are running through it and just like bouncing off the map, um, which is like another level to that whole
yeah. It's
concept.
good.
There was the other one that I saw was it was at the final circle, and this dude put a jump pad out the front of a door, and the whole entire team was like held up inside this little room, and then they all come running out of the room, and all of them hit this jump pad, and they go flying outside the circle, and it's like the last circle,
Oh,
and they're all just chunking damage at that point, but they all
they've-
run over it, all of
yeah.
them.
All three of them hit it,
It's
and they
so
bounced
good.
straight off fucking ledge. Spectacular. Yeah, it was good. It was good
Yeah.
stuff. Yeah, it's he's an interesting hero, but yeah, if you've already got one of your favorites, I don't know that he would necessarily replace anyone's favorite.
Yep.
Especially because they made Pathfinder way better.
Sure.
But yeah, cool. All right.
All right. Risk of Rain.
Yeah, Risk of Rain. I got told to play this a little while ago, a couple of weeks ago, because I keep going on about power fantasy, right? Like this rampant, unchecked, uh, yeah, power accrual, and yeah, like my brother who listens to the podcast. Hi, Liam. He said, "Oh, you should play Risk of Rain because it does exactly what you fucking keep whining about." I'm like, "Cool." I'll have a look. Got it on Switch, and I've been playing it. I've said this before. I'm not crazy about the fucking triggers on the Switch, and I remain not crazy about the triggers on the Switch. But and Risk of Rain uses them as the primary like shooting buttons, but nevertheless, it's not like you don't need any like analog control, fine control, or anything. You just sort of tapping the buttons as much as you can, and yeah, basically it's a roguelike where you start in one area. It's like super zoomed out, and you start in an area, and you're basically making your way through these levels. You got to find a teleporter, then teleporter takes you to the next zone, and each time, what's going on is you're finding chests. You're opening these chests, and when you open the chest, you get something. But what you get out of it is like often absolutely ludicrous. It'll be like it could be anything. Like on the smallest level, it could be enemies drop more gold, which means you get more money, which means you can open more chests, you get more experience at the end of the level, blah 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 blah, or get an extra jump. So then suddenly you can double jump.
Right.
But it could be also like there's a chance that you'll fire a missile at an enemy. So suddenly there's a guided missile shooting at your back. Or what else is there? There was fucking ghosts. When you kill an enemy, they turn into ghosts. And these ghosts help. They like bash shit up and kill things. And yeah, you can just basically watch as the ghosts do all the work for you. You kill like 10 things, and then there's 10 ghosts standing nearby to kill everything for you. enemies drop meat chunks,
Hmm.
or you gain a shield, or blah 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 blah. All these power ups, right?
Sure.
What Risk of Rain does is all of these power ups are random, and it doesn't limit how many times you can get a power up, or I haven't seen it limited so far, which means that you might get the fucking. I played a game where I had fucking like quad jump instead of just double jump. I could jump 4 fucking times, and I had a jetpack, so I could float down to the fucking ground. Like, or I had a game where I had like 4 fucking missiles, so I had like 4 chances for missiles to proc, and like it was just Missile City.
Hmm.
Like, yeah, fuck tons of ghosts, unchecked fucking health regen. Like, I'm regenning it faster than anything can kill me. Like, yeah, the only reason I died is because I got like basically one hit. I hadn't leveled up enough, that sort of thing. Like, yeah, it is 100% about like just unchecked power growth. It is awesome. It's really fucking cool. Like, instead of balancing it, like focusing in hard on this idea of, oh, it's so, so perfectly balanced. Instead they just like resolve to throw more shit at you to try to overwhelm you, and you are trying to stay alive by having as much insane shit as possible, which is, yeah, it's super cool. They announced at PAX East that Risk of Rain 2 is available, right now. I bought it. It's in 3D. I haven't played it yet, but I bought it because if you buy one copy, you get a second copy for a friend.
Oh, thank you. So nice.
Oh, this guy. But yeah, I want to check it out. Apparently, it is literally just Risk of Rain, but in 3D. It's a good game. Like, it works really well on Switch. It's very like pick up and playable. You can like just pause it and put it away, and you come back, and I haven't had any problems working out where the fuck I am in the world. Yeah, it's just this. It's a really interesting take on the roguelike genre because it's not trying to kill you to the same extent that others are.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't know if it's necessarily Dark Souls influence or if it's that's some revisionist shit and the roguelike. Actually, if I think about it, roguelikes have always been like hyper punishing, way back to Rogue itself. So yeah, this is a completely different take in that it doesn't feel super punishing. It feels like you are turning into this fucking. You've got like all these drones flying around you, and they're like pissing fucking bullets out. And there's ghosts of enemies you've slain coming along with you, and you're fighting giant fucking monsters and shit like that. And yeah, it feels like a game where you're just challenged to be as ridiculous as possible, right? And it does it really fucking well, which is cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, it reminded me of, like, we've maybe talked about this before. I don't know if Jung has played it way back. I was trying to have a look while you're talking, but I couldn't see it. Because it's an older game. It was like a 2013 game, and a very strange coincidence that this morning they've announced a sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they've diverted all the planes over the top of my house.
I think that is what it sounds like is happening.
Yeah,
It's good. It's high quality.
Yeah.
But yeah, Risk Rain, check it out. Or Risk Rain 2, check it out. If you buy it before the 30th, yeah, you get a free copy for a friend, which is pretty cool. Because it's got co-op, like 4-player co-op. So
Right.
yeah, cool.
All right. Well, also talking about PAX East, they a bunch of other games were announced there as well.
Do you not respect the news concept? Oh,
Yes.
never mind. I thought you were going somewhere else with it.
No, we'll get there later.
My bad.
Yeah.
My bad.
We got to do something cool. We got to check out a bunch of them before they were announced, which was super handy.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we had the chance to play a bunch of them, so that we could talk about them a bit better. So should we go through the list here? Let's start off with the one that I thought was probably least exciting. Gato Roboto.
Oh yeah.
Did you check this out at all? Did you play it
No,
much?
I didn't play it. I didn't play
Yeah.
it. I saw you playing it, and I thought it didn't look like it was for me.
Yeah. It is like it's a 2D, like a black and white, um, puzzle puzzle game, like a platforming game
Yep.
where you're playing like a cat, and you're jumping around different screens in this level and trying, or on this world, and trying to, I guess, get to the end. At one point, I found a robot suit, and so it was now a cat in a robot suit that could um, shoot things with his robot gun. And it starts off pretty basic. You're a cat that's able to climb walls and sort of scale the environment, and then that's when it starts like teaching you. All right, you can go. This is how you can get through really small areas, and then eventually it puts you in this suit and you go around. I don't know, man. It just seemed really. It just didn't grab me much at all. There was a point in the game where I got to a boss fight, and then I would beat this boss and then go like 5 or 6 screens further down the line, and every time that I died, it would checkpoint me back before the boss,
Just before the boss. Yeah.
and so I'd have to fight this boss again.
Yep.
Um,
It was pretty
it was,
funny.
it's like playing fucking Dark Souls, but every time you beat the boss and go past it, they just respawn the boss again. And you're like, have fun. So
Yep.
this. Um,
You got pretty good at killing that boss though.
well, yeah, that was the thing, right? Is it learnt basically how to kill it, and then it just became a nuisance because
Yeah.
I had to kill it every time just to try and get past this other area.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then eventually, like, I don't know, man. It was just the the way it kind of felt in the movement and whatnot. Um, like it was very fast paced, the game, but the controls didn't feel as, I don't know, polished. I felt like
Yeah.
it's obviously a game that's not out yet.
Yeah. It's
They're
still in
still trying.
development. Yeah.
But yeah, it just things about it. It just didn't really grab me too much. So, um, yeah, I was just kind of like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. The other one was The Messenger. So this is actually a new game. It's they're adding like extra content to it.
Yeah.
I haven't played this before. Have you?
No, I hadn't played it before. This was the first time I'd seen it. It's sort of like a Shinobi style, old school
Yeah.
platformer. Yeah.
Yeah. It likens to those like Sega
Mm.
era games, it's like Sega Genesis or Master System, whatever you want to call it.
Mega
Um,
Drive, Jerk
yeah,
Control.
Mega Drive. Um, where you're playing like a ninja.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so I played. I was basically playing the old game, and then sort of getting a feel for what that's like. And the new content was like, all right, if you're familiar with the game, this is where you kind of start, and it'll go. It goes from there. It was basically like you riding this, like or surfing on this.
Like
I don't know, like a skeleton.
Death's Boat or something? Like,
Yeah,
I'm not sure. Yeah.
I'm not experienced enough in this game to know the lore about what's going on.
Right.
But you're basically like in the sea at this point and jumping over obstacles and avoiding,
Bouncing on pufferfish.
yeah, like avoiding certain things.
Yep.
Um, yeah, and I was watching the IGN guys play it. They were struggling quite a bit on it, and then I watched one of the guys from GameSpot get to the boss, and he yeah, he eventually beat that as well. And then at one
Yeah.
stage I jumped on and got through it pretty quickly. I was like, oh, okay, yeah, easy. But yeah, it's like this. It's basically like a checkpoint system at the initial start of the like jumping over things, like the platforming, the racing bit,
Yeah.
where you're trying to avoid rocks in the ocean, but also they've got like these wooden platforms that you need to either avoid or boost through them.
Yeah.
So it comes down to like timing. Um, and there's basically like 3 lanes that you're trying to maneuver between. And yeah, and it's just trying to get from one end to the other. You get basically to the end of that part, and then there's like a boss fight that you go through.
Yeah.
And you've got to try and figure out like its different move sets, and it's got these different phases that it goes through, and it's about like trying to deal with this boss. Yeah, man, it's hard to sort of talk about it in terms of how it compares to the original because or the other stuff they've got in there already because I've not played it before.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it felt good. It looked.
It's free LC, right? I think is what they were saying, even though that's not what the T stands for. But yeah, it's like it's a free update for the original, the Messenger, that adds like a whole new bunch of shit to the game, which is pretty cool. And it transitions from like 8-bit to 16-bit at one point, which is like a cool effect. I had to go look it up afterwards because I hadn't played it, but yeah, it's a cool like idea for a game, an interesting idea.
All right. Next up, we've got my friend Pedro.
Yep.
Have you like seen this game at all before?
Yeah, I remember they introduced it at that crazy fucking Devolver Digital presentation for E3, right?
Right.
It's in that prezzo. Yeah, looked insane. Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen it at events before, but I've never had a chance to actually play it. So this was the first time. Got some hands on with it.
Yeah.
It's I guess it's like a 2D platforming game, or like it's on a 2D plane, where you are playing a dude that like just shoots through waves of enemies. And you're going from like puzzle platforming, jumping through levels and whatnot.
Yeah. Feels like a puzzle game with murder.
Yeah. But it starts off pretty basic. It's kind of teaching you how to I guess maneuver through the environment. You can roll, you can jump off of walls, you can do backflips, and then it starts introducing things like, all right, now you've got a gun and how to aim and shoot things, and then there's a slow down time mechanic where you can use a focus bar.
Yep. And you can do
Turns
flips.
things. Sorry.
Then you can do flips, and
Yeah.
yeah, and then it gives you another gun, and you can shoot 2 people at the same time, provided you set it up correctly. And then yeah, you got like the frying pan thing, which I think is the thing that it was mostly famous for. And so yeah, you got this frying pan, and you can shoot the frying pan and ricochet into killing people and stuff like that. And you can kick over tables and kick knives into people, and yeah, it's very much a puzzle. Like it feels very much like a puzzle game,
Sure.
where you're just trying to solve like single screen puzzles with violence, which is cool. I like it. I think it's a cool idea. Yeah.
It's very like stylish.
Yeah.
It's got I mean, it's got a look about it. It's definitely got like a lot of gore and whatnot, but there's things like being able to kick people's heads into other people to like stun them.
Yep.
And the whole like doing backflips while shooting people. Then there's it seems like they're not just doing the platforming sections. There's like other bits in between. So the one that we got to saw was you're on a motorbike.
Yep.
And you're on a highway of some sorts, and you're shooting at cars while on a highway.
Yeah.
So it seems like there's going to be some variety in terms of what they're doing there. But yeah, your Pedro is basically a banana, from what I can gather,
Yeah.
that talks to you.
Yeah. It's a talking banana, and he's a bit weird. There's a sense of humor about the game, as you might expect, considering there's a talking banana. It's good. I need to see like a lot more of it. I didn't like the motorbike section as much as I liked the other section, the side-scrolling section,
Mhm.
2.5D side scroll, because it felt more like a just generic action game on the motorbike. You can do the slow down thing, you flip your bike and do wheelies and stuff like that, but it didn't really do that much for me. It just sort
Right.
of felt like, yeah, shoot these people. Let's just let's just get back to what this game seems to be quite good at, which is that
Yep.
violent puzzle solving thing.
Right.
Yeah.
And as a demo, it felt a bit easy for
Uh,
what they were doing, and I don't know if it's because they had something like extra focus meter or something, but you could slow down time for a very
there are a
long
couple of
amount of
times where
time.
I just plain forgot to turn it off. And I'm like finished killing people after ages, and I'm like, why am I moving in fucking treacle? Like, what's going on here? Oh, all right, let's slow down. And I don't think I ever dropped below the third bar of health. Like,
Yeah.
there's 3 bars, and it looks like it regens up to like one chunk of that bar. Um, and if you were to drop below the third bar, you'd only have 2 bars left.
Yep.
Until I suppose there was some health regaining situation. But I never dropped below the third bar, and I full blown just ate some shit. So I think it might have been
Turn on easy or something.
some sort of like show floor build,
Yeah.
so people don't get fucking punted all the time.
Yep.
But yeah,
Yeah. I'm definitely interested to play more.
yeah,
It feels good. The shooting looks like stylish. So
yeah.
yeah, I'm keen. Keen to check out more.
Yep. Cool.
The other game we played, which only just got announced this morning, is Heave Ho.
Yeah,
This is also I'd say it's a puzzle game basically.
yeah,
You're playing like as this little blob with arms,
yeah.
and each arm is mapped to a trigger, and you're trying to
Like
traverse.
each arm is tracked to like one of your thumbsticks.
Sorry,
And
yeah,
the
and
triggers are your grip, your hands.
your hands, yeah,
Yeah,
to be able to grab things, and it's
yeah,
pretty basic. You're just trying to traverse the environment. Well,
yeah,
from what we've seen so far, you're trying to get from one point to the end of the level, the checkered flag,
yeah,
and it starts off pretty simple. You're just climbing sort of like blocks in the environment,
hmm,
and then they start throwing obstacles at you, spikes, big gaps that you have to try and leap across or throw
swing
yourself,
across,
heave yourself across to. Yep.
like
And
ropes, stuff like
yeah,
that.
and it's like pretty basic in terms of a concept, but I had a lot of fun with it.
It was the hit of the entire thing, I think, in my opinion. We were playing co-op, and it was spectacular. It was heaps of fun. Yeah, like even because the dude from GameSpot, Ed, and Luke from IGN, they seemed pretty skeptical at first as to whether or not it was going to be any fun. But yeah, you played with those two at the same time, like 3-player co-op, and it was fun to watch. And it seemed like you guys were having a lot of fun playing it as well. It's
Yeah,
because you can grab onto the other players, and so what you wind up doing is creating these like daisy chains of like just linked arms, so that you can get across these like obstacles or grab the coin, which is what you guys were doing, which is like a special bonus token type thing. Um, yeah, you're doing that, and then like all sorts of things happen because like you might turn upside down, and so left and right are reversed, and so you're trying to like you're upside down, you forget that you're upside down, and you sort of like, okay, I got to let go of my left hand, but because you're upside down it's reversed, and so you let go of your right hand and you drop one of your friends to their death or something like that, like just goofy shit like that. Or like constantly the amount of times you guys were trying to like throw each other across a gap, like for no to no avail, like just pointlessly
Yeah.
whiffing that shit. Yeah, like it was extremely amusing. But yeah, it's super simple, and a lot of the fun is derived from playing within the environments that they're created. I think it'll be a game where level editor would be fucking amazing because you'd be able to create something like really entertaining.
Hmm.
I'm sure they could create something really entertaining themselves, but it'd be so much better if you had like just dozens and dozens of hundreds of different fucking variants on the same thing, like a tiny rope, or you gotta like loop this rope through some shit or whatever the fuck, different like surfaces and stuff. It's pretty early in development.
Yep.
So yeah, it's got a while to go, but yeah, I'm super, super excited to play it. That like absolutely want to play it with you and Nate and make it a drinking game. If you die, you got to drink, and the chaos that will come out of that, where because I envision a lot of throwing people to their deaths to force them to drink on purpose, accidentally on purpose. Yeah, like
Yep.
good fun.
Yeah, we were doing things like at one point we had we were throwing this coin from from one end of the like map to the other.
Yeah,
And we were all like grabbing onto a wall with one hand and then like throwing this coin. And we managed to get it like between all three of us.
yeah,
Because we were fucking struggling to take this coin like through the entire map. So we just set up these points and just started throwing it to one of like, oh, okay, this works pretty easier than what we were doing.
yeah.
There was one bit where I just fucking launched the coin and got it straight into like the end.
Threw it
I was
like
"Alright,
from
sweet."
one side of the map to the other and nailed it into the end zone.
Yeah,
It was hilarious. Yeah, that
but
was,
yeah, the coin was just like like you said, like a bonus thing. But we were trying to do it because we felt like the normal way was maybe a bit too easy.
yeah, um, yeah. It's good.
Yeah, and it seemed like the level, or at least the levels that were serving you, um,
Uh, Remember when I dropped the very loud C bomb?
oh,
Because you fucking threw me off a fucking edge. It was pretty good.
yeah, yeah. What I was gonna say is it feels like the levels, yeah, are definitely designed for multiplayer or at least co-op.
Yeah,
For the coins at least, because some of them were like, how the fuck are you supposed to,
right. You'd have to
unless
like,
you're an expert?
yeah, you'd have to be a super expert and like juggle that shit while you were also climbing all over this fucking level. I don't know how you do it. Yeah, it'd be really tricky. Um, but yeah, very cool. Like heaps of fun. That was a great game. Very
Yeah,
excited to play some more of it.
yeah. That was the one that we played, or that I played the most of at least,
Yeah,
or like easily over an hour.
yeah, 100%. All right, cool, nice. All right, what else we got?
Um, that was it for all the indie stuff.
That was it
Let's
for the
talk.
indie stuff.
Yeah, let's talk about Sekiro.
Oh, you want to do Sekiro now?
Yeah, and then we'll go Battlefield last.
Cool.
Yeah. Um. So yeah, I played a bunch more of it. I was about 30 hours in. Last week, hadn't finished it. I'm still actually going with it, but yeah, put a bunch more time. This one came out on Friday. You finally got a code,
Yep,
and it's the worst game you ever played, from what you've been saying.
basically.
Yeah.
It's not great. It's not a great game. It's not a Dark Souls level game. Yeah, I've been taking notes about all the shit that drives me bananas in it, and let's kick into my notes, shall we?
Sure.
Anime nonsense storytelling. That's my first note, and yeah, it is. It's bad storytelling. Starting to think that maybe the understated minimalist storytelling of the Dark Souls games is sort of a double win from, because it turns out that when they're actually trying to tell the story, they're not very good at it. Who gives a fuck? Oh my lord! And it's so cringy the way they're telling these stories. Fuck that. The blah. Um, I died to nothing once. That was pretty good. Yeah, really enjoyed that. Died to an invisible thing in the water. Loved it.
You know, there's fish in the water, right?
You
Does
can
that kill
see
you?
the fish in the water, and it wasn't there.
Not all the time.
I recorded it, so yeah, we can have a squiz if you like.
Yeah. No,
Died.
I'm saying that there are. It depends on where you're at the game. I don't want to spoil things, but there's definitely
This was very early in the game.
yeah. There is stuff in the water that you can't see
Cool. That seems
for a
like,
reason.
yeah, cool,
You'll find out later.
great. Love to die to invisible things.
It's not invisible.
It is invisible. Can I see it? Is it visible? Then it is invisible. Uh yeah, I love to die to invisible things. That is, that's core Souls style fairness. The great thing about Souls games is that you die and you are punished for that death, but you understand why you died, and so you're able to learn from it. Dying to invisible things is the perfect way to have that, that perfect loop where you're like, well, I have no fucking idea what I did wrong except for being in the water. So I guess I'll just won't be in the water anymore. Cool. Can swim, but invisible things in the water will kill you. So just don't be in the water. Great. Perfect. Yeah. Real teaching moment there. Fall damage into water. What? That's not how that shit works. Get the fuck out of here. I've jumped into I've jumped into water from up high, and no super ninja is taking fucking damage falling into fucking water. Bosses. Here's the note. Bosses being surrounded by 80 cunts just makes boss fights super tedious. Obviously, I now understand this. I made this note when I didn't quite understand what classified something as a boss in Sekiro. I now understand this is mostly exclusively true of mini bosses. I have not seen a boss that was surrounded by 80 cunts, but mini bosses are regularly surrounded by 80 cunts, and it is the most annoying shit ever. Because you constantly have to fucking clear out all the ads just to be able to fight the fucking things. And it's the fucking antithesis of how the fucking boss system's supposed to work in fucking Souls games. You're supposed to be able to just power back on through and have another punt and try to learn them. No, every time you want to fight this fat drunk idiot, you got to clear out fucking 12 dickheads first. Otherwise, they're gonna fucking shoot you the whole fucking time. You're like, oh, cool. So yeah, not only have I failed to learn his moveset correctly, which is why I died this time, but now it seems like I am being further punished by having to waste my fucking time wiping out all these fucks. I was literally like, I think it is more efficient to run in, aggro all the little dudes, chop out kill the fucking gun dudes, and then just sort of take on the others one at a time. You run back out, run back in, run back out, run back in. Than it is to try to fucking backstab everyone, because it's just it never happens the way you want it to. There's like too many quirks with the AI in how they return to their positions. But yeah, so that's really tedious. The stealth in general is bad. I've been spotted many times when I absolutely shouldn't have been, because it's just generally bad stealth. At the other times, I'll be hanging off a ledge, and the dude will be standing next to the ledge, and he won't see the fucking robot grapple hand right next to him, and then I just stab him. And I'm like, cool. Well, like if I'd been fucking 40 meters away and accidentally stand, because every time you fucking you crawl up behind someone and backstab them, then you're just standing in the fucking long grass. Like, oh yeah, well, I didn't want to be a fucking ninja about this. I don't know why I'd finish that fucking backstab execution off with a fucking remaining crouching or something. Nah, that'd be too stealthy. Let's just stand up like a fucking moron, and I'll just fucking have to specifically crouch again. Fuck that shit. Yeah, bad stealth. Like, and it's a ninja game. How is there bad stealth in a ninja game? It doesn't make any fucking sense. How is it that most of the people I can't fucking ninja assassinate, right? It's just not happening. Like, so many fucking enemies cannot be ninja assassinated. Even if you could, it wouldn't matter because everyone worth anything has 2 fucking health bars, so it doesn't fucking matter anyway. Two health bars is cheating. It is bullshit enemy design, 1000%. First, the mini boss 2 health bars thing, right, is just a cheap ass way to force you to risk more again, and it just pointlessly lengthens out fights because they introduced, the entire fucking concept for this game is the posture system, and so if you got very good at building posture damage and then killing, like you get the death blow the moment they cap out on posture damage, and then you kill them, then they've got another health bar. But the best thing is the posture resets immediately all the way to dot, and you've got to build it again. So it's really just fucking tedium. Okay, so I do it again. Great. Unless you manage to stealth death blow them the first time, then you have to do it once. But half the fucking dudes you can't do it to, so it doesn't fucking matter, and you have to do all of them twice. Yeah, that's pretty fucking garbage. The posture thing in itself is annoying as fuck. So many fucking enemies just don't take posture damage. Well, they regenerate it so fucking fast it's pointless. Like, trying to do posture damage until they're below half health, which, then their posture bar turns red and you can actually build posture and keep posture built. It just doesn't work without doing that. Okay, cool. Well, what's the fucking point then, right? At some point, there are a bunch of fucking enemies, like tough enemies, who I get to a point where I'm like, I may as well just fucking chop them to death, right? Like, I may as well just chop them because trying for a posture kill is meaningless at this point. I've had to whittle their fucking health down so fucking far that I may as well just chop them. Fuck it. I guess, maybe I'm not doing deflections correctly. I have no fucking idea. Because I feel like I am, right? I'm not dying that much anymore. I had to, retrain my brain on how to think, because Sekiro is, the Souls games allow you to pick how you want to play, and you get to pick your style and do however you want. You can be sword and board, you can be fucking dodging out of the way, you can be fucking two-hand fucking choppy chop, whatever the fuck you want. Okay, it's Sekiro. There's one way to play Sekiro, and it is the correct way, and if you're not playing that way, you're going to die so fucking much. And I had to retrain myself to actually play in that manner, because I just wasn't. It just isn't how I play games generally. I prefer to duck out. I think it's how I learned to play Dark Souls in the first place, was to duck away and then duck back in when I saw the perfect opportunity. In this, because there's no stamina, there's no punishment for just blocking infinitely, except for your own posture build-up, which you can manage pretty easily. What you're supposed to do is get in their face and parry everything, or deflect everything. So parry. There are some enemies that, you feel like a fucking gangster, parrying fucking 16 fucking hits in a row. You're like, parry, like fucking Street Fighter. That Street Fighter clip? Yeah, the fucking sick parries. You feel like that. That's awesome. That's Sekiro at its best. But most of the time, it doesn't, yeah, it's not like that. It's mostly just, okay, well, I parried fucking 40 fucking hits, and his posture's back to 0, because he's at 90% health or whatever the fuck. Cool. So I guess we'll just Should have just been chopping. Should have just been doing that other thing. Duck out, duck in, chop, chop, chop. Duck out, duck in, chop, chop, chop. They're at half health. Now I can do the posture shit. But why the fuck would I? I may as well just fucking duck out. The only time you won't get away with it is against a few particular enemies who move too fast for you to be able to do it. Lady Butterfly in particular is the one I'm thinking of. Yeah, the game is like, oh yeah, now play through a memory. Ring this bell and you go through a memory, and it's pretty linear. It seems pretty linear. I don't know. It's like separate to the rest of the game. So you just sort of go down the main path, but yeah, there's no like fucking sensible gating. There should be some way for them to define that you're not ready for a situation beyond just kicking you in the fucking crotch over and over again against an enemy you just don't really have a shot against, right? It wasn't until, yeah, I'm like, I give up. I don't know how to beat Lady Butterfly. I'm going to fucking Google it. I Google it, and the dude doing the fucking tutorial has like 4 fucking Estus flasks, and I've only got 2. And I'm like, how the fuck has he got more? That was when I realized I didn't have to finish the memory. I could go play the rest of the game and then go back and finish the memory. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Like, from a storytelling perspective, it doesn't make any fucking sense. Okay, so I don't have to finish... Is it a memory, or is it an actual location, or what? Why do I still have my arm in this memory from before when I lost my arm? Yeah, so that pisses me off. That boss fight was a pain. 2 phases. Every boss fight is a 2-phase boss fight, and I fucking hate 2-phase boss fights. Honest to God, 2-phase boss fights. This is separate to the fucking 2 health bar thing. The mini bosses do, which is his own special brand of bullshit. No, the 2-phase boss fight is just a consistent way to dick over players, because it's just pointless extra gating, and it is honestly the laziest enemy design that there is, because instead of creating an enemy that is complex and challenging for you to fight, it's literally just pretty tough. Oh, it's got a lot of health. Oh, here you go. Beat it again, and now it does fucking lightning damage or some shit. Like, I don't know, fucking whatever. Just get the fuck out of here. Now it's surrounded by fucking ghosts. And you're like, okay, cool. So I get it, right? Like, on some level I get it, but why didn't I just beat it against ghosts in the first place? Why don't you just double its health pool and make me fucking beat it against ghosts in the first place? Right? Like, why the fucking, oh, now it's back from the dead. Fuck off with this shit. Oh my God. Speaking of lightning, that lightning boss can go suck my fucking dick. He was comically easy to beat. I now understand why you forgot him, but it is a horseshit time to introduce a brand new mechanic. He is a mini boss that turns into a regular boss. After you beat the mini boss, you cannot stealth kill him, so you can't get rid of one of his fucking bars. So he's essentially got 3 fucking health bars. And on his 3rd fucking health bar, he now does a brand new fucking type of damage you've never encountered before. Once you work out how to counter that, he is hilariously easy, but I got dicked about for a fucking while until I worked it out. Speaking of, like, how many fucking punishment systems does one game fucking need, right? I lose half my fucking gold, half my fucking skill points, Yeah, cool. All the fucking enemies reset, so I have to go fucking clear them out every fucking time. Uh, oh, and also there's this thing called Dragon Rot, which ruins quests for you and ends like quest lines. I was at fucking 4 Dragon Rot before I fucking killed the fucking butterfly chick. I'm like, what game am I going to be fucking playing at this point? I'm just going to fucking walk through a fucking empty world because everyone's fucking dragon rotted out of fucking existence. Like, cool, great, fucking hell. Uh, what else?
You know you can clear Dragon Rod, right?
How?
You didn't know this.
How do you clear dragon rot?
When you get the Dragon Rot tears, I think they're called
Dragon tears?
Dragon tears. Yeah, and you restore them from the I think the first time you go to Emma, she's asking for like blood samples. Have you done that? Surely you've done that. It's fucking super early in the game.
I've talked to her a bunch.
Yeah.
I think I did some blood sample chat. Yeah.
Yeah, and she gives you the like tears, and then she tells you to go use the tear on the idol.
No, must have
You didn't do
forgotten.
that.
Must have missed the part which said use a tear on an idol or whatever the fuck. But
Yeah.
cool,
So you go and use that. That's how you restore Dragon Rot.
great. I just been rolling around with fucking whatever I'm at, fucking 4% fucking chance,
Unseen
not
aid.
unseen aid of 4% for the entire fucking game. I'm wearing some fucking dragon bell so that everything demon bell so everything's harder now. Like,
Why didn't you clear the Dragon Bell? The Demon Bell. You can clear it. It gives you an item. It read the item.
yeah, right, okay. It's got a bad camera. And why do I have to hold down X to loot? What the fuck is the point of that shit? What does that bring to the fucking game? Like, oh yeah, now I'm a fucking gold vacuum. I get it. Like, cool, that's fun. But why couldn't it just loot when I fucking kill something? You know? It's dumb. It is super dumb. And it doesn't have a big radius. So I have this backstab ninjutsu art where I make someone a puppet.
Yeah.
And I did it to this cannon dude, which was a genius play from my part. And I just cannoned the fuck out of everyone. But I had to like then run around all this fucking level with all these dead people, hoovering up all the fucking gold because I couldn't just stand there next to the fucking cannon guy and fucking hoover it up. No, it doesn't have that much range. Why the fuck does it exist at all? It's the
No, you
dumbest
do.
fucking
You
shit.
pop the balloon, the wealth balloon,
Right.
and then you run around and do that.
Make mad cash.
Yeah, you make stacks of cash. I did a couple of runs where I did that on the estate, where you've got that just past the when you get to the first idol, and initially there's like a locked gate. You go through the path, and then it unlocks a shortcut for you. So I would just like run that route, and then make a shitload of cash, and like pop a balloon,
Mm.
and just do it like get all the cash, and then either go down towards the water, or I'd just reset everybody and do another run and make a fuckload of money.
Why?
So I go buy stuff
Oh.
because I didn't have enough. Well, I didn't have coin purses. And
Well,
stuff,
yeah, that's it.
'cause I didn't
I
read
bought a
that.
bunch of coin purses after talking to you about it on the podcast. So I did at least do that. So yeah, I've always had enough money for everything, which is pretty good. But yeah, yeah. Anyway, yeah, I don't love it. Like I still enjoy. Now I understand that it wants me to play one specific way. I don't hate playing that one specific way. It's not how I would want to play generally, but yeah, like it's good fun. Like from that perspective, as long as you play it that one specific way, it's cool. There's some interesting enemies. Some uh, like there are a couple of bosses. I don't mind the idea of the two-phase boss fight, right? but it has to be it has to be used sparingly. It can't be fucking every goddamn boss is a two-faced boss. Because if that is the case, then it just robs the entire concept. Like, I fought a boss today, earlier on. I won't spoil it, but it's like a surprise when it becomes a two-phase boss, like a proper surprise.
It's probably the one that I'm thinking of as well, because when it happened to me, I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, probably. Like that's a good one. That's a good moment for it, and it seems like it's got some lore about it as well. Like I don't fully understand the game world yet, but the like the undying parts of this game, right? They do seem to like follow a certain trend, and this sort of links into it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, what the fuck? But ah, every single time is just who gives a fuck? Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, well, I beat him once. Let's go. Let's skip ahead to the real boss fight then, because you know that the first time you beat him is not the real boss fight anymore. It's not even their full fucking moveset. It's like I don't know, 60% of their moveset, 70% of their moveset, and they haven't busted out their real heinous shit yet. Yeah.
Yeah. What was I going to say? Like we were talking about it last week. How I got to a point where I was like, it's one of those things where you get stuck on something, and then it feels like all you need is a break. There was one fight where I was stuck on a dude. I fucking died so many times, and then I took a break and then came back and then beat him in the one go. And it's just one of those things where it's like you just need to step away for a little while, come back. I think after we were finished recording last week, I had a really long session. I think I played about 5 hours and didn't die. And I went through like 3 or 4 bosses, and just had this run where I just fucking destroying everybody. It's got like those moments where just things start to click.
Yeah.
There's a boss, and it's probably the one you're thinking of, the mini boss, where like I got into this room with this thing, and it destroyed me in 2 seconds. Like it fucking hammered me, and I'm like, I don't even know where I'm supposed to start with this thing. Like, what am I supposed to do?
Yep.
And then I like left, and then didn't come back for fucking ages till eventually I needed to go back there for something. And I think it took me 2 goes and I beat it. And I was just like, oh, okay, yeah, that's different. Like normally, and I think that was the point where the game changed for me in terms of the combat. Like I was doing the thing where I wasn't using the parrying system a lot. It was kind of just there until like that was the moment where I was like, oh, okay, if I start using this a lot, like it'll change things up for me. And I think that's when I went on that run of being just destroying everybody, because I started using that parry a lot more, or deflection. Because that was like the one way, pretty much the only way that at least I can think of that you could kill that fucking boss, this mini boss at least. So yeah, that was a moment where it kind of clicked. Things started to change a little bit in terms of the combat for me, and I've started to use that like a lot more. Just kind of sit in people's faces, learn their attack patterns, yeah, and just figure out like what I should be doing in this fight. So I'm not like you talked about. It's different to Dark Souls where you run up to something, hit them a bunch, and then fucking run away. Whereas this is like it really wants you to be standing up in their face and trying to hit them and always keep that posture high.
Yeah.
And I think that was the thing. It's like, oh, you've got to forget everything you know about Dark Souls or Bloodborne, Demon Souls, and it's not that game. It's different. And like, play it this way. You've got to be up in their face and fucking go after them, hit them.
But the thing is, right, you can play both Dark Souls and Bloodborne the Sekiro way, right? You can be up in their face, parrying, and like there are heaps of fucking. Some of my favorite Dark Souls videos are like those sick dudes who. There's like one really good one where a dude literally like goes up against 2 bosses at the same time with nothing but his fists, because he literally just walks up and parries the fucking shit out of them. And like it is the gangsterest shit you've ever seen because he knows the timing perfectly, and so he'll like do a quick little dodge to get them at the right range to trigger the fucking animation he wants, and then he'll just parry and then fucking beat down. It's fucking
Yeah.
sick, right? There's absolutely a bunch of like ways to play Dark Souls that way. You just don't get that choice in Sekiro. It is the only way to play it, and it tries some bananas.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. I guess that like yesterday was probably the only chance I've had to talk to people about the game. Apart from we've got like a chat going.
yeah.
But yeah, like just hearing how people have taken on different bosses. There was I was talking to someone last night who is stuck on a fight, and they're like asking me how I did it, and I was like, oh yeah, I used the puppet ability, and did it this way, and they're like, what's that? I don't have that
Oh yeah,
yet. So like just finding unique ways to fight some of these bosses. There's one boss that I fought that I killed in 4 hits, that I know other people have really struggled with, and I just cheesed the fuck out of this boss basically. So I don't want to talk about how I did it, but yeah, just like finding weird ways, like the Dark Soulsy ways to do some of these bosses is interesting.
yeah.
But yeah, the other thing I'm really liking is I think I posted it, the video that's going around of the enemy from the kite that's killing everybody. That is like the exact same reaction I had when I got to that bit, which is hilarious.
The enemy from the kite. I don't think I've seen this video.
It's when you're climbing in the castle. Have you been to the top of the castle yet?
Yeah.
Yeah. And when you're going up there, there's an enemy that comes in from a kite.
Oh, he's like whooping and shit.
Yeah.
Yep. Right.
Yeah.
I do remember that. Yep.
The first time he got me, I was like, what the fuck was that? And there's this video going around of basically a bunch of streamers or like content creators being at that exact moment, and everybody flipping the fuck out when this, because that fight is so hard to get to the top of that.
Yeah.
The first time you do it, and then this thing just comes out and wipes you out in one hit, and you're like, what the fuck just happened? It's such a like Dark Soulsy, like such a From Software moment when you're like, oh my god, I've got to go through that whole entire thing again. But yeah, man, like I at the point I'm at the moment, I'm just wiping dudes out. Like I'll run through an area that I've run through before that I struggled to like. It's that, stealthing your way through it and killing everybody. Whereas now I'm just like one hitting all these people and just running through and just destroying them. There's moments where it throws an enemy type. I think I talked about this last bit. Like, throw an enemy type at you, and it's a hard enemy, and all of a sudden it's like later on down the track, it's like, now there's two of them, and you're like, what the fuck? How am I supposed to deal with this thing? But you've kind of like the guy you were talking about, that motherfucker that's at the top of the he's like guarding one of the houses, and there's like a chest in the bottom, and I think you said you just ran around him to go get the chest.
Yep.
Yeah, like fighting one of those dudes, and then later on they show up all the time, and then now there's two of them, and you're like, oh my god. And you kind of learn that, all right, well, he's got his sword in his one hand. You stick to, it's like that Dark Souls thing. All right, which side is his sword in? I avoid that side, so you stick to his left hand side and circle around the left. Yeah, like reading the tells, like, all right, he's about to do this move. I'll stick to the right hand side and dodge. There's been bosses where I've done that sort of thing where you're like, oh, okay, they've got their sword in their right hand, and now they've moved it to their left, so I've got to stay on this side of their body.
Yeah.
Same thing with like the bull. All right, just stand behind it, hit it in the ass.
Just hold down B, run around behind it, choppy. Yeah. Although it did kick me once.
Yeah,
that was a good one.
I haven't finished it yet. I'm still going up to a boss that is fucking destroying me. So I haven't played the game for a couple of days now. Be busy, but yeah, I'll get back into it at some stage. I am past my 15, 20, yeah, I'm basically past the deaths that I did for Dark Souls 3. I think I talked about this before, but yeah, I've got a notebook, and I've been notching every time I die in the game. Um,
die, or like full death, like
Full death.
back to a bonfire type thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
yeah. I've died more than I have in Dark Souls 3 at this point. Some of that can be related to the fact that I didn't resurrect
I remember you were
for a
saying,
couple of
yeah,
those.
you weren't the
Um,
only person who was under that impression.
yeah, I was speaking to someone yesterday, and they were doing the same thing because they didn't, and I criticized that mechanic completely. And I guess you don't, to the point where you haven't killed Dragon Rot yet. Um, yeah, because I was the same thing. I was like, I, I feel like I'm killing all these people. Like I didn't understand the mechanic properly, but yeah, it just turns out that it doesn't matter if you like when you use it. It's when you die that it affects people. So resurrecting is actually fine.
Yep.
It's like one way to counter it. So yeah, I fucked that up a bunch. So I was like, I'm not gonna resurrect. I'm just gonna kill myself, and then we'll go from I'll start again.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was the resurrecting part that was causing this thing until I've realized that no, it's actually just doesn't matter. So there wasn't a lot of that where it happened, but there's half a dozen, maybe a dozen times where I've done that just because I didn't understand the mechanic. Um, but yeah, you can cure a dragon rot, and it just enables you to go and start doing some of those quest lines again. You've just got to find the I think it's dragon tears,
Yeah, right. I got shit tons
vendors
of
sell them, or you'll find them on bodies and whatnot.
yeah. I got
And
heaps.
generally, I only use it when I'm like talking to somebody and they won't go past their generic like, oh, they're coughing and wheezing and they're not giving me any information. So you go cure it and then you start working on that quest line.
Right.
Um, yeah, but otherwise it's a strange mechanic because I thought it was going to lead to, and maybe it does take it somewhere interesting, but I thought that was quite unique. Of like, oh, okay, I've actually got to think about when I should be using this stuff. But it turns out like, oh, at least at the point I'm at, it doesn't really matter too much. So
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway,
I'll finish it,
yeah,
but yeah,
I'm
I'm not like blown away by it. Basically, I don't think it's the. I don't think it's a game of the year contender.
right.
Yeah.
Well, it's okay to be wrong sometimes.
I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. All right. Battlefield 5's Firestorm
Yep.
came out last week.
This week.
This week. I
This
can't
week.
even remember.
Yeah.
Yeah. Battlefield 5 Firestorm is their battle royale mode that they announced back when the game was quite early in development. I think it was like one of the things they said. Oh, by the way, it's going to have a battle royale mode,
Yeah.
but it won't be available at launch. So we're now what 6 months, about 6 months out from its launch.
4 months out.
When did it come out?
No,
November.
November.
All right,
We're in the
four,
third
five,
month of the year.
4 or 5. We're about in the fourth. It's the
Six.
29th.
6 months. 7. 1 year.
Somewhere around
10
there.
years have passed.
They basically said like, "Hey, this thing is coming. It won't be available on release, and it'll get there eventually." I think they fucked up with this hugely. I think it should be either a separate game or I spoke about this before. The same thing I feel about with Call of Duty Blackout
Yeah.
is that should have been a separate mode because you're going to get to the point where the next game comes along and then you split the community.
Yeah.
Unless this is like, we're going to put this in all of our games from now on.
Yeah.
I don't think that's the right way to go.
Call of Duty already said they won't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they need to go free to play sooner rather than later.
Yeah, I think it's going
This
to
one.
cause some problems. I mean, already we were playing launch night and we were waiting,
5 minutes.
for
Yeah.
a queue, and the game had been out for 3 hours,
Yeah.
something like that. Even now, when we're playing, it's still like a 2 or 3 minute wait, which isn't huge. Like, it's not a massive wait, but if that's the kind of queues you're having within a week of this thing launching or a couple of days, it's a bad sign. At least for our region. And it's that thing of they've got so many modes in Battlefield that they're just diluting the pool. I had a look at the server browser within the game, and generally, like when we were playing, there was a dozen servers running that were full, and you're basically taking people out of those modes and now splitting them yet again because there's already 8 modes in Battlefield. Between your all the ones that they're throwing out, as well as like every once in a while they'll do their, hey, we've put a new mode in, go and play this mode, it's a special event or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they're just diluting how many people are in there and what they're doing, and having this other thing in there where it's a battle royale mode where you need 64 players in there, and they're trying to generate a new queue every couple of minutes. It's I think eventually it's going to get to the point where, in Australia at least, it's not going to be playable.
Yeah. Maybe. Maybe, but it's not there yet. It's
No.
extremely playable. It's fantastic. I love it to bits. The looting is garbage, but other than that, I love it to bits. Fucking hell, it's so good. It's they're doing so much right with it. It might be a teeny bit too big,
Yeah.
but apart from that, I reckon it's fucking tops. It's based off the gunplay of Battlefield 5, which I already already adore, and yeah, basically you land on Halvøy in Norway, and it's this big snowy island type thing, and yeah, there's a firestorm. The firestorm is there on the map, like before you've even fucking dropped. You know where the circle's going to be,
Yeah,
so it doesn't
like contains you in an area.
doesn't use the entire island from the get go. Um,
It's like 70% of the island.
Yeah,
maybe, that it's using.
hmm And yeah, it goes from there. Like you pick somewhere to drop. Um, it's basic battle royale stuff. You loot up and you see how you go. Uh, yeah, the looting's bad. Especially looting dead bodies is bad. But in general, I think just from a UI perspective, it's hard to see stuff. It can be hard to work out what stuff is quickly, and yeah, it can put people at a real disadvantage. The inventory management system is pretty,
Yeah, it's garbage.
yeah, bad. But they're fixing it apparently. It just needs to be way clearer on a whole bunch of stuff. I realize we're at this point quite spoiled by the likes of Apex, which has color coded ammo and all that kind of stuff.
I mean, it's color coded in here.
It's just
There's stuff that's color coded.
yeah, it's just super fucking pale though. That's the problem. Like it's super pale, and the same goes for like all of the UI elements. I don't know why it is. But like every time you ping something, there's like half a chance that you can't see what the fuck it's been pinged because it's too fucking pale.
Yeah, I mean, it's that. One of the I can't remember what game is doing it, but it's like you're looking at this icon and you just can't see it because it's like it's blue,
Yeah.
and it's like, well, okay, the sky's blue, the water's blue, you're on ice, so you can't. Well, you're on snow in some parts. You just can't see anything. So generally, I'm either fucking pinging multiple times or I am calling out numbers
Yeah.
because it just makes it so hard
Yeah.
to see anything. Like sometimes I'll even be like, I can't even see where my marker is. Like I put a
Yeah.
marker down.
I
and
put it
can't
down.
see
Yeah. Yeah. That's definitely happened a couple of times. Yeah. Apart from that, though, yeah, great gunplay. The Firestorm itself is fucking amazing. It is. Holy shit! I can't believe we've been fucking doing electric fields this whole time when someone could do a fucking raging fucking wall of fire. It is terrifying when it's coming at you. Like the way everything warps around you, like there's heat and stuff. They do such a fucking awesome job with it. It ticks it at like a normal rate when you're inside of it, but you can't see through it for shit. Which yeah, a bit,
I think that needs to change.
how
I
what?
think it needs to be more tick damage.
Oh, you do more damage.
Yeah, you can survive in that thing for so long.
Yeah, really.
And that's an issue, I think. Mainly because, I mean, we've talked about it before in battle royale games. It's like having an advantage by sitting in the fucking circle. Sitting outside the circle.
But you can't see through the wall, so it's not the
I
same.
know that's a problem though, because you can't see through it on the other side at all, so you can't tell if someone's coming up behind you. And so, like, we were having a game the other day where someone came out of the fucking wall. It must have been like a minute and a half into the circle. They come up behind us, like, like that's a problem. You feel like and you can't see them coming because you can't see through it. So all of a sudden, they've got the jump on you because they've been sitting outside the circle for so long. I've done it to people where I've been out there for a fucking minute and a half, just healing my way through, because you've got like 8 heals, and all right, there's people here. I can hear them fighting someone, and just come up behind them and murder them all. I think that's a That's a design issue.
Yeah.
I think you need to take more damage to the point where it's not an option to be out there at all. You need to know you shouldn't be in it. It's when you see that thing coming, or you need to understand that I need to move now. I need to leave at this point. Otherwise, I think it's broken at this stage. It needs to do a lot more damage.
Broken is pretty hyperbolic. I mean, like, it's not broken. It's, back in the PUBG days when it was like a fucking pale blue fucking wall. Yeah, you'd literally just go fucking sit in the water somewhere and heal your way through. Like, that was broken. That was fucked. Could be improved quite a lot, but it's their first fucking punts. Like, they'll get there, I reckon.
Because it seems like you can definitely outrun it from what I've played. As long as you're not running up a mountain, that's generally where you can get stuck.
Yeah.
Because you're having to climb or vault over rocks, and that's when it starts to catch up to you.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can survive way too long in it for the fact that you can just come up behind someone a minute and a half into it, and it makes clearing areas hard because you feel like you've cleared a side of a map, and then all of a sudden someone comes up behind you out of the fucking out of the firestorm, and then they kill you, so they take all your heals, and then they're back at square one again.
Yeah. The armor situation's a bit balked as well. Just in the regularity of like how often medium armor shows up. I don't think it's often enough. So there were a couple of games where we were showing up to like the last couple of circles with just level 1 armor, and you just fucked. And we'd completed map objectives and shit. We'd gone to supply drops and stuff. So we shouldn't have been under armored. That's just, it is a loot game. It is a game where, you got to play the fucking numbers, but that's a lot of crit fail dice rolls to come up empty and have everyone walking in to the last circle with fucking level 1 armor if you've actually been doing objectives and shit. It shouldn't go down like that at all. Just doing one of the fucking resupply points, because it's got like one of the cool things it does is it's got like the traditional conquest style points A, B, and C, and if you capture one in the same way that you would capture a point in conquest, you get like a bunch of loot basically. It's a high risk situation because everyone playing can see that someone is capping the point. And it's like you still have to loot while you're there, so like you're free to get got the moment you start to loot. I know you and Nate like cleaned up a bunch of dudes who were like capping a point in a tank, and they all got out to get shit.
I think I've got video of that.
Yeah, awesome.
So I'll put that on the YouTube. But you were basically rolling up into this this checkpoint, and we get there, and it's a fucking tank just sitting there capping this point. And so we're like, all right, what do we do here? And I'm like, let's just wait. They've got to get out to get this loot, right? So they've got to jump out. 3 fucking dudes jump out of this tank while one of them's still in there, and I'm like, oh gosh. So we unleash on these guys, and as soon as we start shooting at the tank, someone starts pinging from the hill, like a sniper starts shooting at us. Like, oh man, like, come on. And so we immediately disengage. I'm like, let's just fucking leave, let's go. We like run down this hill, and I run down the hill. Nate runs towards the sniper for some reason. So we basically split off at this point. I end up coming up behind the tank, and I have TNT, so I lob like 2 lots of TNT on it, and then chuck one of my grenades to set off the TNT and just leg it out of there. I don't blow up the tank, but it's on fire at this point. And then Nate eventually wraps himself back around towards us. And while this is all happening, the firestorm is like coming in like directly behind us, and he's basically fighting on the outside of this storm. And I think he ends up wiping the entire team. Like, I'm shooting at them, and I've done a lot of damage.
Yeah.
And he ends up killing them all, while this sniper is, or whoever is up in the fucking hill, still pinging at us. And it's the first time we've been at that part of the map. Like,
Oh yeah.
we end up running down this valley, and there is a train sitting on some railway tracks, like up in like on a bridge.
Oh, okay. Cool.
I mean, we've been trying to go to different areas, like, oh, let's jump here.
Yep.
Somebody did a bunch. Yeah, Mbop, Hanson Farm. We've got some great names for all of these places. They're not
some
the actual
terrible names as well.
Yeah, somebody did some data mining and found like where the high tier loot is.
Oh, yeah?
And that's kind of definitely changed up certain, like, oh, okay, you get here and it's like, there are like 4 purple guns here.
Oh, okay.
So I think like that thing you're talking about of like not getting the armor and whatnot, because we were having runs where we get out of the first area and everyone's got medium armor.
Yeah.
Because there's like safes around
Yep.
that you can open up, and they take like a certain amount of time to open. But it's one of those things where when you do open it, it just spits out all this gear.
Yeah.
So there are definitely parts on the map that are like the high tier area, and you can look at this data mining this person's done and be like, all right, well, let's drop here. And we did a bunch of like, let's drop at the dam. And just walk out of there with a stupid amount of stuff, like all purples and medium armor and that sort of thing. One of the biggest problems, like you said, the looting needs to change.
Yeah. Yeah,
it's
when you
fun.
kill someone, right, all of their shit just sort of pours out of them onto the spot, but there's no way to differentiate between what the fuck you're picking up. So, like, sometimes you just want to pick up the fucking ammo for the SMG, but you'll just keep swapping your gun out. Or you just want to pick up some fucking armor plates so you can fix your armor, and no.
It's under all this shit, and like you're trying to move your mouse slightly so it brings the thing you're trying to pick up to the front, and then, oh no, you've moved it too far, now you're picking up this gun.
Yeah.
I don't know, like, they need to change the picking up weapons needs to be a hold button. That'll fix that fucking problem straight away. The amount of times I've gone to pick up something and it's grabbed a new gun.
Yeah.
And the worst part about it is you start reloading.
Guns start out, well, they start out unloaded for some reason.
Yeah.
Like fully
and so
unloaded.
So you need to load your gun.
Yeah.
And there are a lot of occasions where I like rocking an MG.
Yeah.
Some of the MGs take a lot of fucking time to reload, and even if you've swapped out a gun that's already loaded and you're like, oh shit, I picked up an SMG, so it starts loading that gun, and then you swap back to the MG that you've dropped,
It's
all
got
of a sudden there's no
shit.
ammo in it.
Yeah.
So you have to, and that's a huge problem, because I've had fights where I've died because I've picked up the wrong thing, like in the heat of the moment. I'm like, I need to pick up this armor quickly, and then all of a sudden I'm swapping guns out, to the point where now I just don't even bother.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get killed doing that.
Yeah.
So there's no point. I don't see what they've got against like death boxes. I think it works. I think it's worked fine in Apex. PUBG's got death boxes.
Yeah.
Fortnite doesn't. Fortnite spits all the shit out.
Yeah. But it also makes sure, like, it spits stuff out quite, like, distinctly. It like spreads it. This sort of just fucking flops it in a pile. And
it sometimes takes some time for it to come out. Like, I've killed people.
Yeah.
Been in a fight, like, where we've dropped with another team. I'm like, I need to kill this guy to get ammo. Kill them. And then nothing happens. And it's like 5 seconds later, eventually their stuff comes out. I'm like, did that guy have nothing, or what is going on? And that's another problem where, like...
Maybe that's one of the ways they manage the hit detection. Because it seems to have a pretty good... like general hit detection, even at the start of rounds. You don't feel like you're missing a lot of shots you should be hitting and stuff. Definitely seen some warpers, but
yeah,
that's just generally people playing on the wrong servers and stuff. Maybe it's doing like loot calculations after it's doing like firing calculations. And so it's like deprioritizing that shit, and that's why you're seeing loot come out late or something like that.
Yeah.
That's my best theory. Because yeah, like otherwise, yeah, early game fights do tend to turn into a shit show in a lot of games. You know.
Yeah. Um, and sometimes it'd be hard to tell whether or not somebody has been downed or if they've been killed. I'm
Oh
finding a
yeah,
lot of times, like, I don't understand if I've wiped a squad or if that person's like the way the animation works is really janky. Like, they'll go down and you're like, is that person still alive or are they crawling? And it takes like a couple of seconds for them to get in there. Like, oh, they're actually crawling around now. It doesn't seem like you can shoot them while they're in that. There's like iframes going on
yeah,
between when they go down and when they're able to be shot again.
yeah.
I could be wrong about that, but that's how I feel like it's happening.
No, I think you're right. And then when they do die, they're stuck in the pose that they were in when they dropped, which
And
I
it's hard
don't
to
like.
tell
They
if they're
should
alive or
ragdoll.
not.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely had a couple of double takes when I thought someone was still alive.
Yeah, and on top of that, the going back to like the ragdolling stuff, the loot. Like, if you're on a mountain and it drops loot, the physics take control, and all of a sudden the loot is at the bottom of the mountain. Like, it just starts rolling down. That's annoying. But yeah, I think the loot's the biggest problem
Yeah.
in the game at the moment. The other thing,
I love the gunplay so much. Holy shit. Oh man. Give me a good fucking give me the MP40 or the Suomi. And they work exactly like they work in the regular game. And I have spent way too much time as a medic to be anything but a fucking smasher with those fucking guns. Like, yeah, if I gotta go, like, I'll go a rifle as my alternative, just so that I'm not only using SMG ammo, but fucking, yeah. Oh, the Tommy gun. Holy fuck, man! The amount of kills I've gone with the Tommy gun. 7 kill game I had. That was all Tommy gun. Like 100%. You just fucking punt.
right?
It's fantastic. I love it. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say that they need to change stuff with the loot table. The amount of times I've picked up a sniper rifle, I've found a sniper rifle with 2 scopes on it so far. It took me, I can't remember what Nate was saying the other day. I think I've got 9 wins under my belt, or 9 or 10, and that must have been the first game I found a sniper rifle with a scope on it. Like, I'm finding purple snipers without scopes on them.
Yeah.
That's nuts.
That is pretty crazy. It is. It's a running joke in our group. Is the idea of finding a fucking shotgun with a scope on it?
You found a shotgun with a scope. I can't even find a fucking sniper rifle with a scope. I thought it was broken, and I think it is broken.
Something's going wrong there for sure.
And then this happens. I finally find a sniper rifle with a scope. It's like a purple sniper rifle. A purple sniper rifle. We get into a fight, or we see a team like shooting another team, and I'm like, all right, I've got this dude lined up. I'll ping him in the head. I ping him in the head. He doesn't drop. I'm like, fair enough. I then shoot him in the body. He's still running around. I shoot him a 3rd time in the body, and he's still alive. And I'm like, what the fuck? At that point, I just dropped the sniper rifle. I was like, fuck that. I'm not using it anymore. Like, I've hit this guy in the head and then 2 body shots with the sniper rifle. The time to kill was way too high. I might as well just use my machine gun. I would have killed him so much quicker.
Oh yeah, you would have been dead.
And then I got a Kar 98 and did the same thing. Hit a dude in the head. Probably did a lot of damage. I think it was 150, which is about your health. But on top of that, you've got your armor.
Yeah.
So, and he didn't go down in 1 hit. So I was like, at the moment, sniper rifles feel a bit underpowered to me.
Yeah.
And I don't think I should be using them at all.
Yeah.
Mainly because a lot of them are they're very low on ammo count. Like, and especially a gun like the Kar 98. If you hit someone with that, it takes, it's a bolt action rifle. It takes a couple of seconds for them to reload.
Sniper ammo takes up heaps of space too in your inventory. Yeah. Like, you can't carry anywhere near as much of that as you can of almost anything else. Maybe shotgun shells. But yeah, like, it takes up fucking tons of space. They're slow to fire. They do a lot of damage, but you have to hit your shots. And yeah,
you need someone to back you up.
In terms of DPS, they're just not fast enough. You don't put enough damage downrange to outpace them just healing through, because you can heal pretty fucking quickly.
Yeah.
Press C, tap, easy peasy. Yeah.
Um, yeah, and the amount of shotguns that I find
Mm.
is too many, way too many. We left at an area that we looted. Nate and I were playing, and I ran out of there with two shotguns because that's the only thing that was there. We eventually got to a control point, and there were all shotguns at this control point as well. I'm like, well, all right, fair enough. Guess we're using shotguns. We ended up dying pretty soon after that because we couldn't fight anybody. We were running around with dual shotguns. So yeah, I think there's some changes that need to be made to the loot table, slightly, like not a huge amount.
Yeah.
For the most part, there's like a decent variety of weapons. But they're the two things I've kind of noticed that they need to fix sniper rifles, and then yeah, go from there. But yeah, I like the objective stuff. I think it adds a unique thing that we haven't seen in other games. I don't know if Fortnite. I think Fortnite's done it. Like they'll have objectives in their games sometimes. They'll run like an event where you've got to complete a task and it gives you something stupid. But I like that this is in part of like the main game. You can go around and do an objective. There's that, like you said, the risk reward thing. There are vehicles in the game where like these giant metal doors that you've got to open, and they take quite a while to open these doors. So if someone starts a fight with you, you're in a bit of trouble. They make a lot of noise, like a siren goes off when you're doing it, so you can go. Someone's about to get into a tank. I don't know who designed the bunkers, but they need to be fixed. There's these giant poles that stick out, like these pipes.
Yeah.
That stick out inside the walls. Yep. You can't get fucking tanks out of them. There are some tanks that you.
Sturm Tiger.
Yeah, you can't
it's too
get
fucking
out of
big. No, you can get out. You just have to have someone standing in front of you, talking you through. Oh, just left 3 millimeters. No, right 2 millimeters.
The plane flags to, go left. It's so dumb. I refuse to getting tanks. I don't like. I mean, I've never liked tanks in Battlefield anyway. So I'm not a tank person. Unless we're desperately like trying to get out of an area, then I'll get in a car and be like, all right, let's use this car. But otherwise, I don't want to be in a tank. I'd rather shoot people with a gun. I think it's fine having like 2 people in a tank, and then you have people around it to stop
infantry support.
Yeah. I think that works fine, but I'm just not interested in running around a tank in that game.
Yeah.
I think there's enough gear in it to be like, all right, you need to have anti-tank stuff. Because there's not a huge amount of vehicles. Like, it's not like you're getting to the end game and everyone's in a tank yet.
Yeah.
I mean, that meta could change in a couple of weeks when people start figuring stuff out, but at the moment, it's not.
Yeah.
Like, it's not a big deal.
Yeah.
We were in a game the other day where we managed to kill a tank, and then we got to the last circle and there was a second tank and we couldn't deal with it just because we didn't have enough stuff to blow it up because we'd used it all on the other tank.
We were in another game where I remember we were in a game where there were two light, like one team had 2 fucking light tanks.
Yeah.
That was tricky. That was tough to deal with. We did it though. We owned them.
Yeah, I mean the good thing is that they've got fuel each tank, so you've got to load up with fuel, and then on top of that, there is ammo, heavy ammo.
Yeah.
I don't know how it works with light ammo, things like machine guns and whatnot. I saw a tank with a flamethrower. I don't know if that is like another commodity you need or another resource that you need. I've not seen anything like that, but
don't know.
And because I've not been in a tank, I don't really know how they work, but. Yeah, there's at least some sort of ammo capacity thing going on, so you just can't sit there pinging everybody. So they don't feel like super overpowered. There are helicopters that I refuse to get in because Joab can't fly them. They don't appear to have guns on them. It's more of a form of transportation. Same sort of thing like Call of Duty Blackout, where they were used to just get from one place to another really quickly, which is cool. And my other criticism with it is, and it seems to only be me that's affected by it at the moment, is the performance isn't very good. I thought something was wrong with the game, but I went back into normal Battlefield and it was running fine. It's just on this one map that my frame rate fluctuates quite a bit between something it's high and then something that's a bit lower. I don't think it's I don't know, like optimized as well as it could be. It
Right.
seems like some people it's fine for, but for me, it's just that one mode that I'm struggling sometimes. You get into an area and it's like, well, my frame rate's tanking. Um, Fair enough.
Yeah, I don't have that problem, I guess.
Yeah.
But I did have a problem where it was fucking crashing every game. So,
Yeah, they fixed that right with the drivers.
yeah, it was some sort of driver conflict. I don't know. I went through a whole bunch of shit trying to fix it, but it did appear to be fixed with the drivers as well. So,
Yeah. No reconnect feature.
no, oh my god, why do these games come out without reconnect feature?
The other thing is that if somebody dies in your team, they don't drop their gear, which is shit.
If they disconnect, you mean? Yeah,
Yeah. Which is also another problem with the other side of it. I've had fights, and this seems to be a thing people are doing now, where they'll go down and just quit the game,
yeah, right.
which is fucked because I'm wasting ammo on someone. There was one fight I remember where a dude, we downed him in one of the buildings, and he was on the stairwell, and
Yep.
I downed him, but we continued fighting, and then I went looking for this guy's body, and he was like completely gone. And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, cool. So that's the thing that's happening now.
It's
But I've seen it happen in front of me.
Yeah, me
where,
too.
Like, I down somebody, and they must just Alt F4, or they just. I mean, it's not hard to quit. You press escape and press exit,
Yeah.
and as soon as they do that, their body disappears, and
It's super
you don't get
fucking
any of that
lame.
stuff.
So lame.
So they need to address that
Yeah,
a lot.
yeah,
Especially if you're having like roles where, all right, Joab's going to play support. He's going to carry all this stuff for us. He's going to carry all our, fuel for our tank or whatever,
Yeah.
or be our like medic guy. Joab's going to carry all the anti-tank stuff, and then he disappears, and suddenly we don't have any anti-tank.
it's literally
anymore.
just deleted from the game. Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, there were games we were running the other night where I think Jai was carrying ammo for me because I couldn't
yeah,
carry it all.
yeah,
The sniper rifle stuff. So he was like, "Oh, I'll take it. I'll take the ammo for you."
yeah,
Yeah, like that sort of stuff is a bit crap. But otherwise, yeah, I really like the map. The terrain, like the verticality of it. There are plenty of like areas that you can hide behind to take cover and go prone and heal yourself back up. Yeah, it's a really good. I think it's a really good map. There's a lot of like variety there. I mean, maybe it needs a couple of more areas to sort of. I don't know if that circle needs to be smaller at the start of the game. It seems like you get to. It's 64 players, right? You get from 64 to about 24 pretty quickly, and then it really starts to slow down from
yeah, yeah,
the next couple of circles. I think the start of the game is very quick, and then it slows down a bit too much. So I think either they need to make that circle smaller or have them, or they need to change like circle timings or something, speeds, because it's still a long game. I think the games are going for what 25 minutes,
yeah,
between 20 and
yeah.
25
25
minutes.
minutes.
So I think it needs to be sped up,
Yeah,
slightly,
cool.
or make the starting circle smaller. But otherwise, I really like it. I think it's great. It just needs to be a different, like it needs to be either free to play
Yeah,
or a separate game, because
yeah,
Battlefield didn't sell as well as it did anyway this year.
yeah,
And in what 6 months from now, there'll be the next Dice game.
yeah,
It's probably not going to be Battlefield, right? It's Star Wars, I think.
yeah.
I'm hearing
I think so.
probably another Battlefront or something.
I don't think it's going to be a dice game.
You don't think it's going to be another Dice game this year?
No.
Oh, okay.
And I have been right with all of my predictions so far this year, so I wouldn't bet against me, but I know you love to, so go on,
Yeah.
and
The other thing I don't like is the starting area. I don't even deploy anymore. I just sit on the screen with my characters because it's too loud. I don't like people shooting their guns and whatnot. It's that. It feels like it's that same problem that PUBG had, where they turn the volume up super loud.
yeah,
That's how I feel about that part, because I can't hear anybody in our chat talking to while that's going on. So I don't deploy anymore. It takes a minute to count down from when everyone is in there. Don't need to count down.
No.
Why is there a countdown? Start the game.
or 10 seconds.
10 seconds.
Go
20 something.
go straight to the blackout bit with the red lights and the warning and shit. Yeah, just get me in the fucking game, damn it. Choppy chop, let's go.
I liked trolling you by saying there were hidden Easter eggs and you had to shoot out certain lights.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
went
yeah, yeah.
along with that for quite a while.
Yep. Yep. I totally bought into it. It wasn't, me just trolling you back or anything.
No. Um, but yeah, I really like it. I think the comms are broken at the moment as well. From what Nate was saying, there's no VoIP,
Oh, okay.
which is a problem
Yeah.
for a team-based game.
A little bit. A little bit.
And we've had situations where it's put us in the wrong server. We were playing
Yeah.
Asian servers at one stage. We were playing.
Got my
in,
first win on the Asian service.
Yeah, we were playing in North America as well.
Oh, that's
yeah,
that's
I think we had like 250. We immediately backed out.
yeah. You'd have to.
That win we got on the Asian server, that felt horrible. It was so laggy.
Yeah, it was. It was. I think we got like 4 kills as a squad, and we had to aim so fucking far ahead of everyone. Yeah, it was crazy.
And even though we won that game, every time we got into one of those servers afterwards, I was like, I'm not playing it. It's, it's not even worth it.
Yeah.
Especially, if you get killed to a shitty circumstance. But yeah, it's awesome. I mean, if you like battle royale games,
Yeah.
and Apex is too
Fast pace.
too fast, too arcadey for you, then I mean, people definitely take some damage in this game, but they still drop pretty quickly. Like you can take people.
You can really rip
down.
people up. Yeah.
Yeah. There's destructibility. I mean, I'll put a bunch of footage in on the YouTube version, but there's great moments where like there'll be people held up in houses and you just ping their
Just
house.
fucking blow up the house. Sick. It's so
TNT their
cool.
house.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very good.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't know what's going to happen 2 months from now. I feel like it's going to be dead.
I feel
For
like
Australia
you are.
anyway,
Yeah.
smaller regions.
I feel like it will be too. Yeah. That's a bummer.
Sucks.
Yep.
Yeah.
All
All right. That's it. We should do some news.
Let's do some news.
Borderlands 3.
Borderlands 3. Well,
was
this is
announced.
the world's worst kept secret, but yeah.
Did you something we didn't put on here, but we can briefly talk about it. Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines?
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe
Borderlands
let's
3,
start
yeah.
with that actually.
Sure.
They released like a CG trailer, or it wasn't in game. It basically came up the screen being like, "This is not in-game footage." At which stage I was pretty disinterested. I did not care at all. I was like, "Show me the gameplay. I want to see the gameplay.
Yeah.
Show me those receipts."
Yep.
I'm excited for them to do. Like they're getting, it seems like the old developers back, or developers that worked on the original game, to come in and work on it, things like the writing and whatnot.
Yeah.
So I'm keen for it. I definitely liked that first game.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a classic. Hopefully they'll finish this one before they put it out. That'll be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm about it. I love
Are you getting first-person vibes from it? I know there were previews, and I read a couple, and I couldn't work out whether it was a first-person game or a third-person game.
It'll be first person. The original was first person.
The first one was first-person?
Yeah, man.
I thought it was a third-person game. Am I thinking of the wrong game?
Maybe you are. Yeah, it should be first person. Anyway, Borderlands 3 announced as well.
So yeah, anyway, back to Borderlands. I was all about this, like, show me the fucking gameplay, and then Borderlands released the teaser trailer, and I was so fucking amped. Like, there was no gameplay in that. I thought it was a really good teaser trailer.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's got, it's like a grayscale statue of things within the Borderlands
All
world.
the statues of the people. Yeah, it was sick.
I was pumped as shit when I saw that.
Yep.
I think I watched it like 5 times just to like go through and see all the things that were in it.
Yep.
I thought it was a very good teaser trailer.
Yep. And then they released another trailer, the developer trailer. And
today.
There's no shortage of stuff in that one. Holy fuck, it's huge. It's a huge trailer. They show fuck tons of stuff. They go through one bit where it's just like 3 frames of something for like 30 seconds. It's just like 3 frames for fucking huge montage of shit. But yeah, guns with legs.
Yeah.
Genius. No idea how it will work. Looks like Claptrap's back. That's all that matters to me. And yeah, I don't really know what the story's going to be about or anything like that. And I'm not going to try and dig too deep into it, to be honest, because I want to like sort of experience it for the first time when I play it.
Right.
But I'm fucking pumped, man. I've been waiting for so long for this game.
Yeah. There was a leak that happened earlier on yesterday,
Yep.
which came out of 4chan.
The hacker known as 4chan.
Yeah, and basically the teaser trailer kind of confirmed that leak was credible information because the characters and at least artwork that they released as well, which were in that teaser trailer. So that meant that the information is highly possible is correct as well. So they talked about sort of like the different characters and where it's set, how some of the mechanics work and whatnot. So yeah, that was all pretty much seems 100% legit. Seems like there's going to be 4 different playable characters.
Yep.
This time around.
Yep. To start off with.
Yeah. It sounds like there's going to be some changes to the skill tree and sort of how that works. There was a Handsome Jack Easter egg in one of the things in one of the trailers, and I think Randy's come out and said that they just put that in there to be arseholes, that he is not actually in the game.
Right.
Like, he didn't say this on Twitter. He said this while they were showing, like, digging deep into the trailer. But apparently there's plenty of Easter eggs in there. There's there's shift codes as well hidden in the trailer that people can go and dump into Borderlands 2, which will unlock some cosmetics.
Right.
Which is cool.
Cool.
But yeah, man, I'm fucking so pumped. I think it is my most anticipated game this year. I think it's coming out this year. I saw EB saying 2019. They didn't announce a date for this at all.
They didn't, but Christmas this year, I reckon.
Yeah, and if retailers are saying this year, they've probably accidentally said that.
Yeah.
It sounds like there's going to be another event or some sort of reveal. They've got a second date on the end of that trailer. Like, find out more. I think it was April
3rd or April 4th or something.
Yeah.
The same day that they released the Xbox One / PS4 versions of the original game.
Yeah.
But upscaled to 4K or whatever the fuck. Yeah. So more details. I'm guessing, yeah. Let's say start of November, late October. That's when I reckon. That's my guess. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
Anyway, other than that, they didn't really talk too much about it. Just the trailers. And then a bunch of other Borderlands-y stuff.
Yeah, Borderlands tabletop game. Some sort of like card deck builder or something.
Yep.
Tiny Tina related. Medium Tina now, I guess. Just not that tiny anymore. And yeah, Borderlands remastered and the full pack, the Handsome collection. They're doing another sale of that or something. But yeah, it's cool stuff.
Yep.
I'm pumped.
Yep. Excited.
Yep.
All right. What else we got? Bruce Campbell is joining Dead by Daylight.
Did you see this?
I haven't seen this. No.
Oh, it's amazing. It's the best. It's a great trailer. I put it up in our Discord. So Bruce Campbell obviously plays fucking what's his face from the Evil Dead series, Ash.
Yep.
He's in Ash versus Evil Dead as well. But yeah, so he's playing, looks like old Ash from the TV series. But it's an awesome trailer. Like, it's just him doing lines and being a dickhead.
Is he the bad guy?
No, it looks like he's a hero. He should have been a bad guy, right? And the monsters were the survivors. That would have been fucking amazing. That's my opinion.
Right.
So you pick a survivor, and it would correspond to one of the killers. And yeah,
It sounds like a lot of work. They have to put it.
I don't give a fuck. I don't give a damn. But yeah, he's the best. Anyway, Bruce Campbell's a legend. That's all I've got to say. Watch Ash vs. Evil Dead if you haven't.
Yep.
It's pretty great. All right. Next, Minecraft removes all references to Notch. He's still in the credits, but yeah, they got rid of all the stuff that said like on the splash screen created by Notch and all that stuff. Just want to chuck this one in here. I don't know. It sort of rubs me the wrong way. He is obviously a dickhead. I don't know if you've seen his Twitter, but he's just non-stop being a fuckwit. But that doesn't mean, I don't think that means you should erase his legacy. He did create Minecraft, right? Like, let's not try to take that away from him. I guess he is still in the credits. I'm very mixed about this because I think a lot of people are like, oh yeah, get rid of him entirely from the game, and that is way too far in my opinion. Like, he definitely should still be in the credits. Let's not pretend like he never existed or whatever. But yeah, at the same time, yeah, you probably don't need a bunch of children seeing Notch and going and looking up the guy who made their favorite game on Twitter only to see him spouting a bunch of fucking anti-transgender bullshit or alt-right bullshit non-stop on Twitter or whatever the fuck. It's probably not that helpful. So it's probably a good idea from that perspective. But yeah, let's not go any further and remove him from the credits or whatever. Mm-hmm. Anyway, fuck Notch. But yeah, just thought it was an interesting one.
Sure.
Yeah. Cool. And finally, League of Legends Rift Rivals. Riot has put a pin in the Pacific Rift Rivals. Pacific Rift Rivals was Japan, Southeast Asia versus the OPL. Mm-hmm. And I have huge problems with this. This really ticked me the fuck off. Like, they said that it didn't really, it wasn't reflected in the amount of money, like that it cost to put on. It still only got about the same amount of traffic as a regular OPL week, and so it wasn't worth it from that perspective. But that's such a fucking myopic look at, like, it's worth more than the bottom line. The way regional esports works is, like, it's so much more valuable than just some clicks, how many views you get. Because if you want your fucking game to grow, what you need is for the players to be able to, like, grow as well. And so the great thing about, like, admittedly, Japan and Southeast Asia and the OPL, Australia, New Zealand, they are at tier 2, right? Maybe even tier 3 if you want to be a fuckhead about it. But, like, they're tier 2 regions. And the only way tier 2 regions can grow is by getting opportunities to play against tier 1 regions. And the first time it happens, it's never terribly pretty, or it's almost never pretty, right? Like, it's always like a bit of a stomping because they're jumping into the fucking water with the big sharks, right? But the next time they're better, and the next time they're better, but better still is they go back and the quality of that region lifts alongside them. Like, there's a cascading effect, the way that this sort of, like, regional experience, international experience works. And the more opportunities you get, the more opportunities players get to be exposed to the way different cultures play League of Legends, on-stage experience, all this kind of shit, right? That just isn't going to happen right now. Like, it's just gone. The only chances they'll get is whoever's going to win the gauntlet. The gauntlet kicks off this weekend for the OPL. Whoever wins the gauntlet will get a chance to go to the mid-season invitational thing. I can never remember what it is, the mid-season invitational, right? And they will go into a wild card draw. So one team will get, like, one chance to play a little bit of League internationally, whereas previously 3 teams in the Rift Rivals were getting, like, a full week where they were boot camping against bunch of other the best international teams from 2 other regions, and those regions were getting that experience as well. It's gone now. They go to the wild card. They'll probably struggle. That happens a lot, and then they'll come back, and we will fail to grow as a region again, right? Or it's not that we fail to grow as a region. We do grow as a region, but we can't outpace the growth of other regions. So it's on a treadmill, basically. It's fucked. And yeah, like I said, it's worth so much more than the fucking bottom line, and it is crazy short-sighted for Riot to look at it like that. Unless their plan is to do, because this is what happened with Smite, if their plan is to just kill off Aussie League of Legends, then
Sure.
I guess that's one way to go about it. But they'd be fucking nuts too, because it's still like a mad traffic getter. So yeah, that'd be crazy. Anyway.
Yeah, I think you draw a comparison to the way like Ubisoft's handled Rainbow.
Yeah.
The way, like you look at the Oceania region, well, not even like Asia Pacific, I guess.
Yeah.
And the way that they've done tournaments here locally in Australia, but also with Japan and whatnot. Yeah, man. And then they bring like some of those teams now are considered some of the top teams in the world. Norango and Fnatic were 2 top 4 teams at a major tournament. They've both made top 8 recently at the Invitational.
Yeah.
Norango went on to even further than that. So yeah.
And then August beat Fnatic, which means that like the local scene is actually lifting to compete against Fnatic. Norango was struggled against who's that other Mantis? They didn't lose, but they struggled, which means that scene is also lifting. Like, yeah, Rainbow Six has done it really well. I mean, like, it's staggering to see Riot do it this way. It's really annoying. Yeah, and it's a mad bummer. But yeah, it's not just Rainbow. I mean, you look at Counter-Strike, look at how IEM Sydney injected this region with a lot of fucking enthusiasm about Counter-Strike, and raised the local profile of a team like Renegades, who didn't have constantly talked to me about how they feel they don't get a lot of Aussie love despite being an Aussie team, and like. After IEM, they started to get that love. They started to get that recognition. And yeah, it's fucking amazing for like Aussie esports to have international opportunities. This is literally just taking that away. Sure. Because they felt like it didn't get enough views or whatever the fuck. But
yeah,
it's horseshit. I'm extremely disillusioned by it. Yeah. Anyway, yeah. Shit sucks, yo.
Yeah. All right. I think that's it.
That's it.
Wrap things up.
Let's do some questions.
Yep.
Dr. E3 Money. Why is Joab so wrong about The Division? Did the EA hype up Anthem money also cover trashing The Division? Did you put him up to this?
I didn't even.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I'm right about The Division. Like I said earlier, Drew, I have been correct in all of my predictions so far this year, and I'm correct about all of my opinions on video games so far this year. It's not my fault that Luke is a little fucking hype beast who fucking loves every fucking game that these grubby little paws gets on, right? And then he hypes you the fuck up as well. And you're like, fuck yeah, I love it. Let's play The Division. And then fucking a good game comes out like Battlefield, and he's like, this is terrible. It's dead in a month. Fuck this shit. Fucking Firestorm's dead already. Dead on arrival. Anyway, let's go play The Division 2, which nobody's played in the last fucking 40 weeks. That's what I got.
Okay.
Yeah. Fuck you, Drew. Fuck you too, Luke.
Any other questions, or was that the only one?
That was the only one.
Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Good question.
All right. The Gap, you can find us on iTunes, Android, Windows Store, Spotify, all those places. If you've got some time, please leave us a review or rate us on there. It helps other people find the show. You can find us on The Gap, the GA Podcast, one of those. We're on there. Easy. If you want to send us questions, you can email us, thegapodcast@gmail.com. You can also go to our Discord page, thegapodcast.com/Discord. If you want to chat in there, we've got some things going on. I haven't seen it since last night, but there was a lot of Borderlands stuff in there.
Yes.
I believe.
Yes, there was.
Yeah, we got some chat channels, people playing games.
A lot of hype.
Seems like we've had... there's definitely been people playing Division in there, I've seen last couple of days. We're playing some Battlefield at the moment. Obviously Apex. There's still people playing Apex in there.
Yep.
I'm playing as well, but I've seen people jumping in there playing that.
Yep.
And just general stuff. So yeah.
Gonna have to check out Sea of Thieves again, I think.
That update's not till next month, I think.
Oh, is it? I thought it was this weekend.
Oh, is it?
I thought. Maybe I'm wrong.
I keep thinking it's like really soon, and every time I see the developer update, they're still talking about putting stuff out at some stage. Maybe. Yeah, definitely can jump in for that.
Play some
doing a bunch.
Risk of Rain 2 as well. Hey?
Yeah. You can find us on social media, facebook.com/GA Podcast, twitter.com/GA Podcast, or you can go to our website, thegapodcast.com. It's got all the links to things we just talked about, including past episodes of the show. If you want to check out some of them, you can go do that. It's very good. And that's all thanks to our Patreon members helping us run the site. If you want to go to patreon.com/GA Podcast, and it helps us put on this show.
You're awesome.
Every week.
We really appreciate it.
Yes. I think that is it. Anything you want to shout out to? Anything you want? Do you want people to smack the like button somewhere?
Yeah, go check out my Rainbow Six thing on IGN. I think it's now live. As like it's a big preview of Year 4, or summary of what Year 4 has to offer. You can check out the IGN Pubcast as well. I'm on that this week. We didn't talk about a lot of games on that. Too much time doing sketches in silly voices, but they are some good sketches. They write some funny shit. So yeah, pretty entertaining. Yeah. And yeah, that's about it. What about you, Luke? What do you got?
You can go to Survivor.com. You can check out my my review for Sekiro. That is up in full now. It's got a score attached to it.
What score?
9.
What a chump.
Yeah.
7 at best.
Crazy. And at some stage, I mean, it's not going to be up by the time this is out, but yeah, I'm waiting for an interview to come back from Miyazaki. I don't know where that went, so maybe it'll never get done, but we'll see.
Well, fingers crossed.
Yeah.
All right, cool.
And that is it. We'll be back next week.
Yep.
More Firestorm.
Yes.
Is there anything else out this week? Not that I can think of.
Risk of Rain 2.
Yeah.
How many times do I have to say it? Just fucking get into it.
What game's that?
Risk of Rain 2.
Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. Unbelievable. All right.
See ya.
See ya.